Hello there, and welcome to my first tutorial on Figma. I wanted to share how I like to work in Figma and set up my board, so let's dive in. All right, so I have a blank Figma document here, and I'm going to slowly start to build out screens. So I press F to get to my frames. I'm going to do a phone size. I'm going to do an iPhone 16. Scale to 100%. You can also do that by doing Command 0. All right, so I have my frame, I have my default page 1, and let me show you just kind of how I do things here. So I'm going to create a button, and then I will start to collect things in an Assets tab. All right, so to create my button, I will put the text of button on screen. I will then do Shift A to make that into a auto layout, and then make sure your naming conventions are good. All right. So I have my button in auto layout. I'm going to go ahead and adjust the padding a little bit here. So space between, in case I want to throw an icon in there, will be, I will say that is 16. And then on either side, I will say 32. And then top and bottom, I will say 16. All right, and so I have my nice button here. I am going to adjust the type size. No, I'll keep it as is. All right, let's add some color to this button. Pick from my defaults. This button will be purple. I'm going to add a soft edge of 4 pixel rounded corner on appearance. And then I'm going to go ahead and change the black text color to white, just so I'm a little bit more in accessibility compliance. And I will start to build my button. I will just show you one version here, and of a button in default state and then button in hover state. All right, so this will be my hover state. So I'll change the name here to button/hover. All right, and I'll change that a little bit. So purple 1, maybe that becomes purple 2. All right, so we have this nice little button scheme happening here. Once you are satisfied with that, you can go up to create component options and do create multiple components. So that will put these into multiple components. And then you want to select this combine as variants button up here, and that will create a little bit of dynamic button awesomeness here. All right, so now I have my button. I will show you how I like to work here. So I have a primary or master component on my iPhone frame here. but I want to work on this frame. I don't want this to be my where I house all my assets. So I will create a new page up here and add new page. I'll call that components. And then I'll create a separator page. If you don't know already, you can do a couple of hyphens and then tab out, and that'll be a nice way to organize your pages here. I also like to use emojis in my page titling here. And I'm going to call this one screens, because this is where I'm going to do most of my work. And I'll put a little emoji here too, just to give it a little more personality. All right, so I have my really cool local button component. I am going to right click on that, and I am going to say move to page components. So as I'm building out these screens, I will build out primary components and styles, and I will move them to my components area. All right, so you can see in my component space now I have button, which is nicely organized here. All right, if I go back to my screens, I will show you the placement. So if I go to assets and I say created in this file, you can see my newly created button. And that button has these two states, default and hover. If we preview that, you'll see this nice little button here. And then in the next video, I will show a little bit of interactivity there. So thank you so much for watching a little bit how I work. Creating assets on screen as you're building screens, and then moving them to a components or assets page within Figma. So I hope you enjoy.